Hey guys, I hope you're doing well, and today we are going to discuss about Google Keep. But why we wanna talk about this application and is it really essential? This is not about Google Keep or any other documentation applications. It's all about our mind. The purpose of this video is to empty your working memory. Your working memory is a part that has very low capacity and cannot preserve a lot of information, and it will be occupied very soon. So we have to empty it. One of the way of this purpose to empty our mind is Google Keep. You can write it down or use any other application. In the future, I will discuss about much more advanced documentation applications and much better applications for this purpose. But for now, I just want to talk about a simple and a straightforward and easy application to explore like Google Keep, because I like that all people use them, okay, not just professional or the people that were productive a lot. So I know that they won't use this application, but sometimes I will use this application too. So this is for all of the people that like to empty their mind. So let's get started. Okay guys, as you see, Google Keep, it's very simple. You can just search it, Google Keep, and here you are. I just use it. If you logged in with your Gmail, so it prompts you to this page, so you don't have to do anything. If you haven't logged in, please first log in and then you will see this web page. So guys, here you are. As you see, let me delete these ones to not distract you. 000. As you see, the major part that we are going to discuss is about notes. Notes are straightforward, something that you want to write it down. For instance, about my shopping list, okay? I like to write down what I wanted to buy today. For instance, bread, for instance, rice, for instance, potato, and etc. As you see, this is something that we are writing down. Again, this is a very simple rule that I am emptying my brain. This is based on neuroscience, guys. Instead of just keeping this information, preserving this information in mind, oh, I have to buy something today. Oh, I shouldn't forget that I want a bread, for instance, because the dinner, we don't have bread, we would stay hungry. You know, this is thing, maybe this is ridiculous, but a lot of people are doing this, unfortunately, and they are keeping information in their mind. For instance, I have to go shopping today, and I just remind myself, I just ask my brain, please remind me that I wanna go shopping in this time and I wanna buy these items. And most of the people skip this part and they don't write them down, for instance, a list that they wanna buy. This is just a repeated process, repeating thoughts that they comes up in their mind, and they won't let them to think about the important task. So this is why I'm telling you to use any application that you desire. So this is my shopping list. For instance, I like to buy these items. As you see, for instance, I have to do it today on not 8 a.m. As you see, it wasn't very hard. Remind me and pick the date that you want. For instance, today is 4 November. For instance, I like to buy it today evening at 6 p.m. because at 8 p.m. most of the stores are closed in Italy. So I don't need this anymore. And as you see, I set a timer, I set a reminder to remind me. And then, for instance, this is a very crucial, I have to buy them, otherwise we would stay hungry. So I turn it into red in order to prompt me about emergency. You can, for instance, set your color standards and set a specified color for a specific task. For instance, if I am setting a note about meditation time, I can use, for instance, green to remind me about relaxing, about the comfortable time, or other things, relaxing time, and etc. And then you can collaborate it with other people that you liked. For instance, if you have a partner, if you have a homemate, you can share with him or her. If you couldn't go shopping, collaborate there will do this. And finally, you can add some of the images and you can attach them. And finally, we have archive. Archive, it means that, for instance, you don't need this text and it would be stored as an archive document. So that's it. And some of the other options here, for instance, delete notes, and delete notes, it would be removed. And this is something straightforward. And add label, for instance, I can, okay, one of the notes hasn't been removed, so I like to delete it. Done. Here, I came here to add label. For instance, I want to categorize my text and I set it to shopping. I want that all shopping tags have this same label. So I create it, and as you see, you just add it on the left sidebar. So here you are. As you see, shopping label, that it reminds me on 6 p.m. today. And here you are. And you see that this is a very simple text. I like to, for instance, put it as checkboxes. So you can do it here. For instance, if I do this, you can check it out and it considered as a completed item, and etc. And hide, you can hide it. It's okay. It recognizes based on brick line. And finally, copy to Google Docs. For instance, if it's more than just this and it's very more huge documentation, you can copy to the Google Docs and it will connect it to it. And finally, we have version and storage. This is not something that you are looking for. This is the major part. And the last part, guys, I wanted to explain you is about refresh. For instance, your browser hasn't been refreshed and it stayed in this page for a long time. You can, for instance, use a refresh instead of reloading the page. And this is actually using the Ajax. Doesn't matter. By using this icon, you can see it as a list view or grid view. I prefer, to be honest, grid view because I have more comprehensive site rather than just things that are placed in list. I like to see overall in one look. So this is your preference. And finally, we have dark mode theme. You can enable or disable it if you don't like dark. I prefer dark theme. I prefer dark theme. And finally, the feedback and application download and some of the keyboard shortcuts. You can explore one of them that you think that are going to be helpful for you. Okay guys, this is the whole process that I like to discuss, but about the reminding, this is not a suitable application. I'm only talking about the facilities, about the features that this application has, but this application is not advanced. And this is very straightforward for people who don't like technology or they prefer to do something very quickly and easy and straightforward. So I don't suggest to use this application for even to-do list. In my perspective, it's not useful for that. It's useful, but not professional. As I told you, about the people who don't like to engage with more complexities and professional perspective. For instance, reminder could be removed here, and I just create a task in my daily action, for instance, in my to-do list applications, and then remind me for this one. And label, it's going to be great. For instance, if you have different text with different categories, you can set this label in order to recognize them, that which one, for instance, is suitable, which one is assigned to shopping, which one is assigned to meditation, and others. For instance, I like to create another about the meditation. Guys, this is only example. I don't use this application for this perspective, only about shopping list. I will tell you why. So, for instance, in meditation, as I told you, you can again create more stuff. For instance, when you want to do this, or the duration time, which application that you're using. And as you see, that it doesn't provide you so much information. For instance, about the location. For instance, about decorating typography, not typography in very professional level, but it doesn't provide you anything. And for instance, if you want to write something with more text formats, for instance, about the header 3 and header 1, we don't see so many options here. And so this is not suitable for documentation. Maybe it has some of the features that I don't know about them because I don't use this application for that purpose. But in general, it doesn't provide you so much features for that. As you see here, this is only about a very fast and quick text. You write down something that you don't want to forget. And in my perspective, I suggest you to use this application for your terminal. Terminal is a place that you put unordered things you haven't organized them yet. Okay, for instance, I am using this Google Keep for my terminal. This is not instance, I'm actually using this. I don't care about organizing, I don't care about for instance, I have to order them. This is something that I needed for immediate access and immediate write it down notes. So in my perspective, use this application for this perspective. For instance, today I have to go to shopping, so I create a task in my to-do list application, not here, and then I only write down what should I buy. So by doing these items, as I told you, create a to-do list. I created already. Create a task for today. Write down the items that are essential for home today. I am emptying my mind. My mind won't engage into this part again because I write them down and my mind is empty now. So my mind, I mean the working memory, and I can focus on my important task, for instance, until 6 p.m. that I wanted to go for shopping. So guys, this is my recommendation. Use this application for quick notes and the things that you don't want to organize a lot, and consider this application for your terminal to play things that you don't care about organizing, about the orders. For the documentation, I will provide you for to-do list application. I will provide you much better and advanced application. As I told you, the purpose of this video is just to empty your working memory and providing all people a very simple, straightforward, easy application to use. So guys, there's nothing to talk anymore. These are the label that we created, so the notes that we're creating. For instance, if set label meditation, it's placed here as well. And about edit label, you can edit them, you can delete them. And finally, we have archive, the text that you archive already. As you see, for instance, I archive this here. As you see, it comes up here, not here anymore. This is archive. And finally, for instance, if you don't need it anymore, you can delete it. And in trash, I can trash as well. I empty it. It just keeps your information and your texts for 7 days. After that, it will permanently delete it. So guys, I hope that you find this video helpful, can solve some of the problems. I know that so many people are struggling with their working memory, and please use at least an application or a paper, doesn't matter, to write down the things that are in your mind, to empty it and focus on your most prioritized task. Thank you guys, thank you for watching this video. I hope this is gonna be useful for you. Take care guys, love you, bye bye.